Hello students, in this video we are going to study the electrical properties of solid. Solids show the very wide range of electrical conductivity. According to solids are classified into following categories. These are the conductor, insulator and semiconductor. Conductor which has the good electrical conductivities in the range of 10 to the power 4 to 10 to the power 7 ohm per meter purse. So are called as a conductor. For example, metals, ionic solids, these are the conductors. Then insulator, that is solids having the low electricity or electrical conductivity in the range of 10 to the power minus 20 to minus 10 per ohm per meter. So are called as a insulator, means these are the bad conductor of electricity. And third one, that is the in between the conductor and insulator, and this is called as a semiconductor. So solid having the electrical conductivity in the range, middle range, that is 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the power 4 per ohm per meter, they are called as a semiconductor. This range is the intermediate between the conductor and insulator. Metalloids like silicon, germaniums, they are belongs to this category. Conductors म्हणजे काय? They are the good conductor of electricity. For example, ionic solid आणि metals, all types of metals. Okay, near about all types of metals. Then insulator म्हणजे काय? They have the bad conductor of electricity. For example, non-metals and molecular solid, they are the bad conductor or insulators. आणि semiconductor म्हणजे काय? In between the conductor and insulator, they are called as a semiconductor. The name is semi. So this is all this, it is explained on the basis of the band theory. So here there are some certain images. So band theory, electrical conductivities of the solid metals, non-metals and metalloids are explained in terms of this theory. So the band is made of closely spaced electronic energy levels in this way. Closely spaced electronic levels. The bond formation can be created or the formation of the molecular orbitals, MOS, by the interaction of the atomic orbitals, which is seen in the 11th chemistry textbook for refers chapter 5. So the according to molecular orbital theory, that interaction of atomic orbitals of combining atoms results in the formation of equal numbers of MOs, molecular orbitals, which spread over the entire molecule. Okay, and this similar to this interaction of energy levels of electron in the closely spaced constituent atoms in the solid results in the formation of bands. Band theory consider formation of two type of bands, namely one is conduction band and second one, that is the valence band. So this theory, the another important concept of this theory is the band gap. This is the band gap. Okay, so the conduction band, what is meant by the conduction band? Here, conduction band. So the conduction band, that is the highest energy band containing the electrons in the conduction band. It is formed by the interaction of the outermost energy levels of closely spaced atom in a solid. Conduction bands may be partially occupied or vacant. Electron in the conduction bands are mobile and delocalized over the entire solids. They are called as a conduction band. Second one, that is the valence band. The band having the lower energy than the conduction band is called as a valence band. Okay, so the electron in the valence band are not free to move because they are tightly bound to the respective nuclei. Okay, for examples, in case of suppose any metal, aluminium. So aluminium, Z is equal to 13. Electronic configuration here 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3px1. Now here this is the valence band. Now in valence band, here electron in this valence band is not free to move, because this electron, it is tightly bound with the nuclei of aluminium. Okay, and the next one means after 3p, then 3d, 4s, these are the conduction band, means next one band, they are called as conduction band. And up to this 3p, means 3p, this is the valence band, and after 3p there is a 4s and 3d, these are the conduction band. So this is valence band and conduction band. Then the band gap, that is the energy difference between the valence band, this valence band, and the conduction band. This energy difference is called as a band gap. It is also called as the forbidden zone. So here first we consider now conductor, means metal here. So the metals are good conductor of electricity. The outermost electron of all atoms in the metallic crystal occupy the conduction band in this way here, which is shown in this figure. So the number of electrons in the conduction band of metal is large, which is as shown in this figure. Okay. So hence the metals are good conductor of electricity. The conduction band in the metal can be further labeled as S band. So overlapping S and P band and so on, this depends on the atomic orbital involved in the bond formation. Band formation in the metallic conductor thus results in the delocalization of outermost electrons of the all metal atoms, leaving behind the metal ions. This is described as cations of metal are immersed in a sea of electron. This is the sea of electron. So in this conductor or metallic conductor, now the band means band gap, it is negligible or very small, and that's why it is overlap on each other. So conduction band and valence band nearly touching to each other, and that's why electrons, they are free to move. Hence it is a good conductor of electricity. They are called as a conductor. Next one, that is insulator. Here insulator, here in insulator valence band, this is the valence band, is completely filled with the electron, and the conduction band, it is completely empty. Okay, and the band gap between these two, here energy difference is too large. This is the called as a band gap. The valence band and conduction band in the insulator are separated by this large energy gap. So this is called as a hidden zone. The thermal energy is sufficient to promote electrons from valence band to conduction band, and as a result the conduction band remain vacant, and the material is therefore insulator. They are the bad conductor of electricity. Next one, that is a semiconductor. Here in semiconductor, in this figure we see here electrical conductivity of semiconductor material is intermediate between that of metal and insulator. The metalloid of silicon and germaniums are the semiconductor. Like insulator, here there is a energy gap, and electrons are present in the valence band. Also here some electrons are present in the conduction bands. Here some electrons are present in the conduction bands. This is because at a temperature above the absolute zero, a few electrons in a valence band have enough thermal energy to jump the small band gap and occupy higher energy conduction band. The conduction band thus becomes a partially filled and valence band becomes a partially empty. The electrons in the conduction bands are free to move here, free to move. When electric potential is applied to the semiconductor, it conducts small amount of electricity. Such pure semiconductor material which has very low but finite electrical conductivity is also called as the intrinsic semiconductor. So here the electrical conductor of the semiconductor increases with increase in temperature. This is because the numbers of electrons with the sufficient energy so as to get promoted this is because the number of electron is sufficient energy so as to get promoted to the conduction band increases as the temperature rise. Means at low temperature it is a bad conductor of electricity, and as the temperature increases, here the sufficient energies that promote electron from lower energy to the higher energy level, and at higher temperature that this semiconductor, it acts as a good conductor of electricity. Now the extrinsic semiconductors and doping. So the conductivity of semiconductor can be increased by doping. The process of addition of the minute quantity of impurities to the semiconductor to increase its conductivity is called as doping. The added impurity is called as dopant. The doped semiconductor having higher conductivity than the pure intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. There are two types of extrinsic semiconductor, namely N-type and P-type semiconductor. So first we consider N-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor contain increased numbers of electrons in a conduction band. For example, doping of silicon. Here there are the silicon, okay, which is the semiconductor. And if one of the atom like phosphorus is added to the pure silicon, here pure silicon is added to this silicon, it occupies some vacant site in the lattice in the place of silicon atom as shown in this figure. So here one electron, extra electron for 4 of the 5 valence electron of P, means phosphorus, are utilized in bonding. The closest of the 4 silicon atom, thus phosphorus has one extra electron in this way, and this is called as the N-type semiconductor. Next one, that is the P-type semiconductor. In this semiconductor, here is produced by doping the pure semiconductor just like silicon or germanium, and one of the occupy, that is boron atom, occupy normal position of the same silicon atom or germanium atom in this way, here boron atom. But as it is the electron deficient, there is a deficiency of one electron. So the boron atom forms bond and with 3 silicon atom only, and the missing 4th electron creates an electron vacancy, and this is called as a hole. This is called as the P-type semiconductor.